Hey, Pretty Girl Club. Welcome to another episode of the Late Night Girl Talk. This is actually a Patreon series, but I am going to make this into a video so that I can advertise my Patreon. Be sure to join it. It's only $5 per month. I have over 100 extra posts in there, so those are mainly like custom content. So anything you want me to talk about, it can be something really personal. It can be like personal advice for you. I talk about that stuff in the Patreon, and also you will get access to a Discord where we talk about all kinds of like beauty stuff. We have like a little confessions thing in there. We do like girl talk, dating discussions, sex talk, everything. So be sure to join that. But today I wanted to talk about my personal beauty standards and how I developed them. And I want to talk about how I do not tie my internalized beauty standard to a particular phenotype. So I'm going to teach you how I do that and how I continuously meet my own internalized beauty standard. So I actually have hundreds of different types of beauty in my mind. So in another episode, I've talked about abstract beauty. So finding beauty in things that are not an actual human being or not like a particular person. So you know how a lot of people end up getting their beauty standards from the media and they don't realize that they're doing that. So I happen to not watch a lot of movies and stuff. So I don't even keep up with the media. So I really have no idea what is popular right now. I don't really know what's popular in terms of like movies and like the beauty standards for that. And so I do think that that probably helped me to not have an internalized beauty standard that I don't meet myself. But I almost have like this mental beauty dictionary. And when I say a mental beauty dictionary, what I mean is I have all of these different abstract forms of beauty. So, for example, one of my goals with beauty is to heal my inner child. And so I try to create beauty standards that my inner child gets excited about. And so that's why I have more of an abstract beauty standards. So, for example, mermaids, princesses, queens, Cleopatra, cottagecore, anime stuff. I've noticed that those types of beauty that really satisfies my inner child. So, one thing you may want to ask yourself is, what is my goal with my beauty? I really do feel like beauty is a part of your self love journey, or at least that's how I like to perceive it. I perceive my beauty as a part of my self love journey. I don't view beauty as some sort of contest or competition because I don't like to have a scarcity mindset about beauty. Like, oh, I want to try to look prettier than the next person. I don't like to view it that way. So I like to view my beauty as something to where it's like, oh, I get excited about it. Your beauty shouldn't be something that stresses you out. It should be something that you have a playful relationship with. So remember when you were a little girl and you used to dress up as a princess, or you would put on a pair of your mom's high heels, or you would like take some lipstick out of a drawer and like put it on, and you'd put it on badly, but then you would look in the mirror and you would be so excited. That's what I mean when I talk about your relationship with beauty. So when I think about my relationship with my own beauty, that is the exact feeling I want to get. I want to feel like a little girl who is just playing around. I like to have a very playful relationship with my sense of beauty. And I like to view beauty as something that's fun. So if you guys haven't seen my other videos about beauty hobbies, be sure to check those out because your beauty hobbies can actually help you to feel inspired by your own beauty. My goal is to be my own muse. So I don't want somebody else to be like the person that I'm thinking of in my head. Like, oh, I have to keep up with Zendaya. I have to keep up with Beyonce or all these other people. No, I want to be my own muse because when I am getting dressed, I'm dressing myself up. So I am the princess. So I'm going to teach you how I develop my beauty dictionary, or kind of like these different archetypes in my mind, or these different abstract fantasy beauty characters. I'm going to show you how I develop those. So, for example, one of my favorite beauty characters for myself is a mermaid. I love mermaids. I think part of it is because I like the color. So you might be thinking, a mermaid, like what is that? How is that a beauty standard? Okay, well, this is exactly how I think of it. What about mermaids do you think is pretty? So I can answer that. I love the colors. When I think of a mermaid, I'm thinking of soft purple. I'm thinking of blue and teal. So, do I have anything blue or teal that I can wear? I'm also thinking of sparkles because I'm thinking of mermaids that have kind of those sparkly fins. So, do I have like some sort of sparkly nail polish that I can put on? It would be even better if the nail polish had like some purple dots in it, like some purple sparkles, or maybe like some teal sparkles. I'm also thinking about seashells and I'm thinking about the sea and water. So, do I have some sort of eyeliner that I can wear? Maybe I can wear some eyeliner on my waterline to kind of get me thinking about manifesting that type of beauty. That's what I mean when I say abstract beauty. So, do you see how I just named 5 or 10 different aspects of beauty without naming someone's race or someone's skin tone or a certain body type? Because the way that I think about beauty is I'm trying to avoid triggers. So, over time, as you begin to develop all of these different abstract forms of beauty and you start consistently meeting your own internalized beauty standard, then the triggers will actually start to fall off over time. So, you will no longer be triggered by things like skin tone or your weight or hair texture because your brain is going to naturally begin to associate hundreds of different things with your own personal beauty. So, part of the reason why I like mermaids so much is because in my mind, I kind of view myself as like a mermaid. So another way that I like to get inspired and do a beauty brainstorm, I just made up that phrase. When I say a beauty brainstorm, what I mean is I want you to think about that abstract ethereal character or that abstract form of beauty, and I want you to think about what makes that thing beautiful. So it doesn't have to be a character. It can actually be a certain color, it can be a certain season of the year. If you're into spiritual stuff, it can be a certain spiritual concept. So for example, when I talked about mermaids, I mentioned water. Are you a water sign? Like in terms of the signs and stuff? Some of you guys were talking about my sign or whatever, like I'm a Scorpio. I don't know if that's a water sign or not, but that's something else you can incorporate. Another thing I think of when I think of mermaid is I think of beautiful pendant necklaces. I don't know why I'm kind of thinking of crystals. I think part of it is because I'm thinking of shells that have the pearl inside of them. So my brain is naturally associating that with crystals. So can you put on like some really cute rose quartz earrings or some crystal colored earrings or something that is like a teal color? That's an example of having an abstract internalized beauty standard, and it's very easy and low effort for you to meet that beauty standard because all you have to do is go in your closet and find something with that color scheme and put it on. Because remember, your beauty is something that is carefree, it's fun. I want you to pretend like you're playing dress up. So whether you are dressing up to go to work or maybe you're dressing to go to bed, do you have a pretty teal blue pajama shirt that you can put on? And then maybe you can like put on that oversized t-shirt, but the color of the shirt reminds you of a mermaid. And so when you're looking in the mirror, you're still kind of getting mermaid vibes. This is all a part of the affirmation process, and doing this actually helps you to gradually rewire the neural pathways in your brain. And yes, over time, you are going to start to associate yourself with a mermaid. And so that's why I like to pick all these beautiful characters and creatures. Like, in case you guys haven't noticed, my beauty standard, it really is based on my childhood and the things that I found pretty as a child. So, in terms of mermaids, I actually went on Pinterest and I found this image and it says, "What is your mermaid name?" So, you take the first letter of your name if you look on the screen. So, if your name starts with an A, your mermaid name is Aqua. So, I'm going to pretend that my name starts with an A. So, my mermaid name is Aqua, and then you add the month that you were born, and then it gives you your mermaid last name. So I was born in November, so it says it is Atlantic Rose. So hello, my name is Aqua Atlantic Rose. That is my mermaid name. Nice to meet you. What is your mermaid name? You can look at the screen, or you can just make up a name in your mind. So the name Aqua, the fact that I just picked that off of my little Pinterest board thing. So now I'm thinking of the color aqua. That happens to be one of the best colors that actually goes with my skin tone. So can I wear like some aqua colored eyeshadow, or maybe like I can wear some aqua shoes to work tomorrow? Hey, you know what? Maybe I have like a bracelet or an anklet actually. Anklets are very mermaid like. Well, I know mermaids don't have ankles, but I associate anklets with like the beach and the waves and the water. So do you see how I just named like 10 or 20 different things that are beautiful about mermaids, and how I began to kind of associate those fashion items or even those colors with myself? So that's something you can do in terms of celebrating your own beauty or developing your own internalized beauty standard. You can start off by healing your inner child and creating all of these abstract beauty characters or like beauty ideas in your mind. And this is what I call the beauty dictionary. And so I'm going to tell you some of the things that are in my beauty dictionary. I named a few of them, but so for example, like a boss babe, that's something else that's in my beauty dictionary. Timeless elegant beauty, Cleopatra, punk rock, cottagecore, seasonal. You can do it based on your star sign. So it's just stuff that's totally random, but these types of beauty are not associated with someone's race or someone's skin tone or a certain body type. And also, if you are multiracial or multicultural, as a part of your background, do they have any urban legends about mermaids? So, for example, I was scrolling YouTube the other day and I saw this video pop up about like how in Haiti, they had rumors that there were mermaids, and also in the South, I guess they had rumors that there were mermaids in the water. So you don't have to believe in it like in a scary way, but let's say there's some sort of urban legend associated with whatever that character is in your mind or that abstract beauty archetype. That can actually be a way to connect with your ancestral background. So, for example, if you're Haitian, that can be something that helps you to have more of a positive mindset about your Haitian background. Because I've noticed that beauty inferiority complexes can be tied to many different things. It can be tied to a skin tone, it can be tied to your actual racial background or your nationality. I know that in Haiti, for example, they're going through a lot. You know, I know that that country is actually going through a lot. And so having these abstract beauty standards and then eventually finding a way to tie that back to yourself or to find a way to meet that beauty standard for yourself, that's going to increase your mindset around beauty. Because when I do these videos on the psychology of beauty, it's not about competing with others or attracting a guy. It's about having a pretty girl mindset and having a beautiful mindset. So the way that I like to do my beauty standard, I change my beauty standard for myself every day to maybe every week because it's very easy, because it's not based on a certain phenotype. I'm not like, oh crap, I have to have curly hair and I have to have highlights for the rest of my life. No, I just think in my mind, hey, what would my inner girl be excited about? What did my inner girl think was beautiful? Barbies? That's something else that I'm thinking of just off the top of my head. Okay, let's do a beauty brainstorm about Barbies. So, what do I like about Barbies? What parts of myself remind me of a Barbie? Well, I have long legs, so can I wear some cute shorts when I go to the gym tomorrow? Like maybe I'll wear some cute pink running shorts, and that's gonna give like Barbie vibes. Maybe I'm gonna paint my nails hot pink. Maybe I'll do that next week. Actually, you know what? I think I want to wear a hot pink lipstick to work, or I can wear some sort of like sparkly eyeshadow because that also gives Barbie vibes. Maybe your name starts with a B. Do you have a bracelet or a charm that you can wear with like a bee on it? So not only does it remind you of your name, but it also reminds you of a Barbie. So do you see how those positive mental associations start to build up and you start to almost kind of positively brainwash yourself with beauty? So I want you to think about who your favorite characters were when you were a little girl. I want you to think about what types of things would make you think of beauty when you were a child. Something else that I thought was very beautiful when I was a child, I loved flowers. I've always loved looking at flowers or like going outside and picking flowers out of the grass. Okay, so what is so beautiful about flowers? What's special about flowers? Well, I like how soft they are. Okay, so how can I manifest that soft beauty this week? So, do you see how that's an abstract beauty standard? I just based it off of a flower. I based it off of the softness of a flower. What's my favorite flower? Okay, I like roses. So let's do a beauty brainstorm about roses. So when I think of a rose, I think of the beautiful color red. I think of romance. Okay, so can I wear a red lipstick tomorrow? And maybe I'll do like some romantic curls. You know, those really big barrel curls that they have in all of those movies? Okay, so now I'm kind of thinking of like Pride and Prejudice, like that time period. I'm thinking of like corsets and stuff like that, and kind of like the flushed cheeks. So, like, you know, the cheeks that are naturally, they have like some red on them or something. So can I do some rosy blush tomorrow? Like maybe I'll do like a rosy colored blush. So do you see how I'm creating a beauty standard? I'm creating an internalized beauty standard for myself based off of something abstract. So what kinds of things did you find beautiful when you were a little girl? It could be a certain type of flower, it could be a certain season of the year, or a certain character. And if you really want to have fun with it, you can even choose like a fake name for the day or like a fake name for that character. You know how girls will name their wigs, or like when you buy a wig from the beauty supply store, it has a name like, oh, this is Adriana, oh, this is Sarah, oh, this is Vivian. You know, like the wig has a name, so it kind of makes you feel like, oh, I'm getting into character, you know, like I'm getting dressed up, like this is my pretty girl alter ego or something like that. Like this is my pretty girl character, like I'm playing dress up, just like how you did when you were a little girl. The reason that they're naming those wigs by all of those fun names is to get you excited and to stimulate your inner child. Have you ever noticed how when you go to a makeup counter or you purchase a nail polish, you'll look at the bottom of the nail polish and it'll say like this color is romantic rose, or you know, Barbie pink or something like that. They're giving it those fun names because they're trying to stimulate your inner child. They want you to feel the same excitement that you felt when you were a little girl. And that is how beauty standards are created. So you can actually take that concept from marketing. You can take that psychology, take it on for yourself, and then you get to decide, okay, what kind of beauty do I want this week? Like, what kind of beauty do I want to manifest? Okay, I think I want to be a Barbie this week. Okay, so what's my Barbie name? I'm going to name myself Cheyenne. So, hi, my name is Cheyenne. My name is no longer Exoticals United. I am now Cheyenne the Barbie. So do you see how it's becoming fun? You know, I'm like becoming playful. I'm kind of like tapping into a little character, kind of like when I was a little girl and I used to play dress up, or I used to play with my Barbies and I would give them a little name and I would kind of like live vicariously through the Barbie dolls that I was playing with. So when I'm talking about having abstract beauty standards and kind of picking a character and almost dressing like it, you're doing the same concept. You're living vicariously and you're satisfying your inner child, but you're actually living vicariously through yourself instead of living vicariously through another woman. So, going back to an abstract beauty standard or the things that you used to find beautiful when you were a little girl, the reason I'm talking about your inner girl is because I feel like a part of healing your relationship with your own beauty comes from healing your relationship with your inner child. So for a lot of women, they were not nurtured when they were little girls. So maybe your parents, maybe your mom was jealous of you or something, or maybe your parents were just not loving, they were neglectful, and so they did not help cultivate or nurture that inner girl, and so that part of you is missing. What I try to do on this channel is I'm trying to help you to use your own beauty to restore that sense of wonder that little girls have, or restore that sense of being carefree, because that's really what beauty is supposed to make you feel like. You're supposed to feel carefree. You're supposed to feel inspired when you look at a certain color or when you look at yourself in the mirror. You're supposed to feel like a little girl that actually is a princess. When you were a little girl, a part of why you had fun playing dress up is because you didn't have a bunch of insecurities. You weren't comparing yourself negatively to another woman's beauty yet. So you were just able to be carefree and just enjoy how you looked. You got to just put on that dress, you put on those high heels that were way too big for you when you were a little girl, and you still felt so cute. You felt like a bad bitch when you were 5 years old, when you were looking in the mirror. And for those of you who didn't get to experience that, now you get to experience that as an adult. And so even if you don't feel beautiful yet with your physical appearance, that's okay, because this video is talking about how to feel beautiful utilizing other things, such as other things that you find beautiful, like mermaids. That's one of my favorites. So I can wear the beautiful colors of a mermaid. So even if I am not praising the beauty of my face or my skin tone or my hair texture yet, I am praising something about myself, even if it's just my shirt that I'm wearing that reminds me of a mermaid, or even if it's just my nail polish color that's sparkly and, it looks like a cute little mermaid fin or something. All of those thoughts and affirmations in your head, those are still rewiring your brain to have more confidence and to have more self esteem. It's still going to help you to heal your relationship with your own beauty. And then as time goes on, you can start adding to that abstract beauty standard. So, for example, with the mermaid thing, okay, so I've got my cute little teal shirt on, I've got my little sparkly nails, I have named myself by a little cute mermaid name. My name is Aqua. I've got my little aqua eyeliner on. Okay, so now I think I want to do something with my hair texture. So maybe I will wear my hair, maybe I'll crimp my hair, or maybe I'll wear some extensions that are like a wavy hairstyle or something like that. And then when I look in the mirror, I'm not thinking about, oh, how do I compare to someone else? I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I look so cute. I'm giving mermaid vibes. Because when you choose an abstract beauty standard, you don't have to look exactly like the stereotype of that thing. My goal is for you to have an entire beauty dictionary, or kind of like this arsenal in your mind of all of these different abstract beauty standards that you can choose from, and then just morph those things into however you look naturally. And it should be something that's very low effort, not like, oh my God, I have to look like an actual legit mermaid. No, it can just be giving mermaid vibes. So I'm just wearing the colors of a mermaid, or I'm wearing some pretty sparkles today, or let's say you want to look like a princess. You want to manifest that princess beauty. You want to manifest your inner princess. Okay, so let's choose a princess name for yourself. So what princess name do you want to have? Okay, your name is Princess Exotical. Hello, Princess Exotical. Hello, Princess Caramel, Princess Chocolate, Princess Golden. So, what kinds of princess items do you want to wear today? Do you want to do the princess colors, maybe like a pink lipstick or pink nail polish? Do you have any of those shirts? You know those shirts that have like the poofy sleeves, like the poofy shoulders, and then the rest of it is kind of skinny, or like the sweetheart top? That reminds me of a princess. So do you have a shirt like that that you can wear? So do you see what I mean? I didn't name any actual phenotypes. Also, when it comes to the princess, I'm thinking Bridgerton vibes. So kind of like the updos with kind of like these romantic curls falling down the side of your face, and maybe some gloves. So I don't know how cold or hot it is where you live. Maybe you live somewhere where it's cold. Do you have any gloves you can wear? So now, as a part of my beauty brainstorm for the princess, I'm thinking about lace. You know how some princesses, they wear those lace gloves? So do you have anything lacy that you can wear? Like maybe a lacy bra that you wear underneath your shirt to work, and that makes you feel more like a princess. Or maybe you don't have anything lace and you want to start making that the abstract beauty standard, lace. So what does lace make you think about? What is the beauty in lace? Okay, lace is very soft, it's very feminine, it's very airy, and like air easily flows through the lace. For those of you who are spiritual, aren't air signs a thing? Like, I don't know, like, can you incorporate that in there? So do you have anything flowy in your closet that you can wear? Do you have like a hairstyle that you like to wear that's very flowy, like maybe wearing your hair down so it kind of blows in the wind, or wearing your afro out so that the air can flow through your scalp, kind of like how the air flows through the lace? So do you see how I just created an abstract beauty standard and I was able to tie it back to your phenotype? So that's a part of how I create my personal beauty standard. That's a part of how I fit my own internalized beauty standard. It's by not associating it with a certain skin tone or with a certain phenotype. I just like to think of it like whatever inspires me. And especially if it's something that would have made me excited as a child. So, like elves, I'm also thinking about elves. So, like Lord of the Rings elves. So now I'm thinking, okay, I kind of want to show off my ears. So the way that I like to show off my ears is I like to do a 2-strand bang, or maybe just some sort of bang, and then maybe half up, half down. I feel like that draws more attention to my ears. So do you see how I was able to associate an elf with creating a beautiful hairstyle that shows off my ears? Another thing I think of when I think of elves, for some reason I'm thinking of velvet, like the material velvet. So do I have like a velvet blazer, or do I have like some sort of velvety shirt or a velvet headband? That's what I mean when I say you have kind of this abstract beauty standard. See how mine was kind of based off of fantasy? I didn't say, oh, I want to look like women from Latin America or I want to look like these white girls over here. No, I just literally named a random fantasy character and I kind of projected my own interpretations of that fantasy character into the beauty standard and I incorporated it into my internal beauty standard. So that's the way that I like to do it. I like to change it up. So I'll change it up every week or sometimes every day. I can look at a color. So if you have an eyeshadow palette, you can look at the colors in the eyeshadow palette and start describing those colors to yourself. So for example, I have some gold eyeshadow. Okay, what does the color gold make me think of? Why is gold a pretty color? What makes it pretty? Okay, so I associate gold with royalty. So now I'm thinking of like Cleopatra. She just came to mind as like kind of a beauty inspiration. So maybe I'll do like a gold eyeshadow today with like a little bit of the eyeliner, kind of like Cleopatra. Okay, do I have a necklace that will kind of go with that? Do I have gold jewelry? Okay, so maybe I'll incorporate that necklace onto there. Do you have a golden skin tone? Because you can actually tie it back to your own phenotype and kind of use that color and kind of use the beauty of certain colors to affirm your skin tone. So let's say you have a chocolatey skin tone. Let's say you have kind of like that cherry chocolate skin tone. That's another thing you can do as well. You can actually make up a totally new pet name for your skin tone. I do this all the time. I love to create new nicknames for my complexion. So, for example, when I was hiking tonight, I was like thinking actually of the color gold, and I was like, oh, I feel like my skin tone is like a rose gold. I've never heard anyone else call their skin tone rose gold. So, that's another way that I kind of create my own personal beauty standard. Or when I think of my hair texture, so my hair is technically not curly in the sense of like having a spiral. I don't necessarily have spirals, but I do have kind of like an S curl. So I like to call it having tight waves. That's what I kind of call my hair texture. So do you see how I just made up a new hair texture nickname for myself? Ooh, tight waves. Waves, that actually reminds me of a mermaid. Ooh, see how I tied it back to the mermaid? So I am a mermaid. So that's how the beauty becomes fun because, you're just kind of playing around in your own mind. You're not stressing out. You're not trying to fit into a particular trend. You're not comparing yourself to someone else. It's not based on the male gaze. This is literally about you and your relationship with yourself because confidence really is how beautiful do I think I am? How important do I think I am? How much do I trust myself? How capable do I think I am of meeting my dreams? All of those things are actually a part of confidence. And yes, your internalized perception of your own beauty, that is a part of what determines your confidence. And so if you constantly give everybody else power over your self-image, then it makes it like an external locus of control. And so yes, I think I'm cute. Yes, I think I'm a mermaid. My mermaid name is Aqua. And something else that I like to do as well, to kind of create my own personal beauty standards is when I'm editing these videos, I actually like to use different images. Some of my images are faceless, and I do that on purpose because I like to train my brain to not put a specific face or specific features with a certain kind of beauty. And whenever I show my images on this YouTube channel, I try to show every hair texture with that type of beauty, every skin tone with that type of beauty. So let's say I am talking about the princess beauty. I love using that aesthetic on this channel. That's one of my favorite beauty images. And so I will use pictures of like a dark skinned woman in a princess dress, but I might not show the face, or I might show just like a girl holding up a mirror or something like that. So that's something else that I like to do internally as well. So when I'm thinking about all of these fun types of beauty, I like to think in my mind, like make this mood board almost. I like to make a mood board in my mind. Like, okay, how can I look like a mermaid? What do I think mermaids look like? If I were a mermaid, what would I be doing right now? Wait a minute, what kinds of powers do mermaids have? Because now I'm thinking about Aphrodite. So, like the Greek mythology, I'm thinking of Aphrodite because I think in the story, if I remember it right, she kind of like came up out of the water. So now I'm getting like these Aphrodite vibes. I don't have to follow Aphrodite's phenotype if it doesn't match my phenotype, but I can take inspiration from that. Like, okay, I think she was kind of like topless or something when she like came out of the water in the Greek mythology. So now I'm thinking of showing off my body shape a little bit, or kind of like showing my sexy vibes or whatever. So do you see how I'm starting to tap into different pieces of my identity just by creating my own abstract beauty standard? I'm also starting to randomly think about treasure. Like, how people try to search on the beach for hidden treasure? Okay, so do I have any jewelry that I can wear that kind of reminds me of treasure? Maybe I have like a gold bracelet that has gems on it, or maybe I have a headband that has certain gems on it. Or if I want to increase my inner beauty, what qualities do I treasure about myself? Like, that's something you can ask yourself. What qualities do you treasure about yourself? Inner qualities. Do you feel like you have any inner mermaid like qualities? What personality traits do you associate with mermaids? I guess when I think of mermaids, I think of women who are happy and carefree and they're free flowing because I'm thinking of water, so very free flowing, very like they know how to go with the flow, they know how to swim with the tide. So I think of a woman who's very flexible. So how can I incorporate those inner beauty qualities into my everyday life? How can I be on my mermaid vibes, not just with my outer beauty, but also with my inner beauty? And then you can make it fun. Like you can go on Pinterest, you can look up like what are qualities of a mermaid. So I actually looked on Pinterest and it is showing a mermaid next to a siren. So I guess there is mythology about sirens being kind of this mermaid like ethereal creature. So that's something else that kind of relates to the beauty of a mermaid siren. So, can you do like a siren makeup look or something? How can you tap in to that type of beauty? So, notice how instead of thinking of a specific phenotype, I'm thinking more of an archetype. I'm thinking of color schemes. I'm thinking of small ways that I can attain that color scheme or attain that type of beauty. I used very simple examples such as nail polish or an eyeshadow. These are all things that you can find in your closet or things that you can find in your bedroom. Even a pajama shirt. I used an old t-shirt as an example, like maybe wearing a teal colored t-shirt to sleep in instead of wearing whatever raggedy ass t-shirt you were wearing before. So that's one of the ways that I like to play around with my beauty. I like to make it very playful. I like to think of it like I'm dressing up, but it's almost like when you're a little girl and you play dress up, you're not just dressing up physically. You are also dressing up mentally. That is how you play the game. Like literally when you're a little girl and you're pretending to be a princess, you're pretending physically by putting on the little dress, but little girls are also mentally acting like a princess while they're playing dress up. And so I want you to have that mentality, but in real life, and actually act like a mermaid and be a mermaid. By the way, my mermaid name is Aqua. What is your mermaid name? Let me know in the comments section what your mermaid name is. And also, what are some of your abstract beauty standards? So do you like to look at flowers? Does that make you think of beauty? Does that inspire some of your makeup looks or your outfits or how you want to dress? Do you like looking at movie characters or Pinterest boards or mood boards? Or do you like listening to these kinds of videos and kind of listening to other women talk about their abstract beauty standards? Do you have a whole bunch of different types of beauty that you like to tap into? Because I know I do. I'm more into kind of the fantasy beauty, so kind of like fantasy characters that may not really be humans. For some reason, I seem to have a fascination with like non-human forms of beauty. So when I think of my abstract beauty standards, it's more like a Barbie doll or a princess, or well, actually no, I guess princesses are humans, but it's like a princess from a movie or something, or just I make up my own version of a princess. Anyway, what is your favorite type of abstract beauty that is not tied to a certain race or phenotype? Let me know in the comment section and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.